The first crack in time appeared on an ordinary Tuesday in 1954. I know because I was there, bent over my temporal research equipment in the basement of Princeton's physics department, when I saw myself as a baby being handed to my adoptive parents. The vision lasted exactly 2.3 seconds, but it changed everything I thought I knew about reality. My name is Dr. James Harrison, and I'm about to tell you how I discovered that time isn't what we think it is. It's artificial, constructed, and now it's beginning to fail. The second vision came 3 days later. I was measuring quantum fluctuations when the air shimmered like heat waves rising from summer asphalt. Suddenly, I was watching myself as a toddler, surrounded by toys and doting parents. But something was wrong. In my memories, I grew up in a modest home with only my adoptive mother. Yet here I was, spoiled and cherished by both parents in an affluent household. Both realities felt equally real, equally true. I could feel my consciousness splitting, existing in both moments simultaneously. The toddler looked up, his eyes meeting mine across decades of impossible space. He knew me, I knew him. We were the same, yet fundamentally different. The visions increased in frequency and duration. One morning, I watched myself as a troubled teenager being arrested for theft. The officer handling the case was another version of me, older, weathered, wearing a badge with pride. The teenage me snarled with rebellion, but I could see the fear in his eyes. The officer, my other self, showed compassion, understanding. He'd been there before, or had he? The memories began to blur. Each fragment of time revealed a different path, a different James Harrison. The married police officer who went home to a loving wife and 3 children. The wealthy businessman who turned his life around after that teenage arrest, now living in a mansion with a trophy wife half his age. Every version was aware of the others, each carrying the weight of multiple lives lived and unlived. I began to understand the horrifying truth. Time wasn't a river flowing in one direction. It was a construct, a cage built to keep reality from splintering. And now that cage was breaking down. In my laboratory, I documented everything. The temporal anomalies were increasing exponentially. Reality began to slip, memories overlapping like double-exposed photographs. I would start a sentence as the researcher and finish it as the police officer, only to find myself in the mansion, tasting the bitterness of betrayal as I discovered my young wife's infidelity. The worst part wasn't seeing these other lives. It was feeling them all simultaneously. The joy of being loved by 2 parents, the sting of handcuffs on teenage wrists, the pride of the badge, the hollow victory of wealth, all existing at once in a maddening symphony of consciousness. I thought I could use this knowledge to fix things. If I could see all possible paths, surely I could choose the best one. When I saw my teenage self about to steal that car, I tried to intervene. But reality has a cruel sense of humor. Every attempt to correct a mistake only created new branches, new variations of failure and success, all equally real and equally doomed. The temporal fractures spread beyond my personal timeline. Other researchers began reporting similar phenomena. People worldwide started experiencing multiple versions of their lives simultaneously. The fabric of reality stretched thin, threads of time unraveling like a sweater caught on a nail. Last week, I made a devastating discovery. The equations don't lie, time itself is collapsing. The artificial construct that keeps our reality coherent is failing. Soon, every possible version of every life will exist simultaneously. Past, present, and future will become meaningless concepts. I'm writing this from my laboratory, but also from my patrol car, my mansion, and my childhood bedroom. Each version of me knows what's coming. We can feel the final dissolution approaching. The boundaries between timelines are paper-thin now, reality bleeding through like watercolors in the rain. They're telling everyone that the temporal anomalies are under control, that the best scientists are working on a solution. But I am those scientists in 1,000 different lives, and we all know the truth. Time wasn't meant to be linear. We forced it into that shape, built a framework to contain the chaos of infinite possibility. That framework is crumbling. Yesterday, I saw tomorrow, all of them, every possible tomorrow stretching into infinity. And in each one, I watched reality tear itself apart, unable to contain the weight of all possibilities existing at once. If you're reading this, you probably feel it too. The memories that aren't yours but are. The lives you never lived but have. Soon, we'll all exist everywhere and everyone, until the concept of individual existence becomes meaningless. Time is ending, not with a bang, but with the whimper of 1 trillion lives being lived all at once, forever and never, in the eternal now of what we once called tomorrow.